YouTube continues to demonetize many videos. If you like this channel, please click on my Patreon page, link in the description. Hey gamers, John here. The Legend of Zelda is one of the most respected video game franchises of all time, and one of my favorites as well, aside from Mario, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Metroid, Halo, Killzone, and so on. Mass Effect is a great series as well, and the original trilogy we all remember for its utmost success. Now, last year Mass Effect Andromeda was released. I saw the trailer on E3 2016 and I thought it was going to be a new awesome title, but unfortunately it failed due to the facial animations, some gameplay mechanics, glitches, horrendous dialogue, and also due to one of the developers' racist rants on Twitter. So now, one of the developers at BioWare is blaming Zelda Breath of the Wild for the failure of Mass Effect Andromeda, Mark Darrah. Mark Darrah, who also developed Dragon Age and is currently working on Anthem, recently spoke with Game Informer in the popular 123 Rapid Fire Question Series episode on Anthem. During the video, Mass Effect Andromeda came up when the host asked if Andromeda got a fair shot. To the question, Darrah replied by blaming 5 other RPG games that released in the same window as Andromeda, and of course, he mentioned Zelda by name. And he said the following: I think it came out in a really busy window in March, perhaps the busiest window in the history of the gaming industry, where 5 RPGs released in the same month. It came out in the same month as Zelda. Darrah believes those 5 other RPGs releasing in the same time frame meant Andromeda didn't get a fair shot. His statement is a blatant lie and a ridiculous excuse with no logic or sense. First, no major RPG was released in March 2017 other than The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The only other major games in the same month were Nier Automata and Ghost Recon Wildlands, and among them all, only Mass Effect can be considered a true RPG experience. Even Zelda is an action-adventure first. So the claim Andromeda released in the busiest window in the history of the gaming industry is a lie. But to hear this from an EA executive isn't surprising at all. Because of course, this isn't the first time someone from EA lied on camera. What's meant by that is that during the time Ubisoft was working on Assassin's Creed Origins, they were making sure that the facial animations were better, and they succeeded. Unlike the developers of Andromeda that mess with the facial animations and make them look cringy. How would have Mass Effect Andromeda succeeded in the first place? Well, if they haven't messed around with the mechanics, the facial animations, and fixed its many glitches and errors, it would have been better. Not to mention that it would have also been better if one of the developers wasn't such an idiot towards a certain group of people. And I also gotta say that blaming your failures on others instead of yourself and learning from your mistakes, you are just making a complete narcissistic asshat out of yourself. If you see that your project doesn't yield the results you wanted, then it's a chance for you to learn to correct your errors. Besides, why did Breath of the Wild become such a success? Because the developers put a lot of heart and time into it. Now, I'm sure a lot of heart and time was put into Andromeda, but they messed up with a lot of things. I know that when I talk I have my errors and try to the best to ensure my improvement if things seem to go south. Blaming others for your failures doesn't help. It makes you look more like a spoiled brat that was born with a silver spoon in its mouth. And that, as I say, is that, gamers. If you want to talk about this, please comment, rate, share, subscribe, and go for it. This is John, host of Video Games in the World. Have a good one. Bye-bye.